We're going to get started in a little bit. Just a couple quick announcements as you guys find your seats. Again, there's a 50-50 tonight. Please get a chance to buy that if you do. Some housekeeping. The bathrooms are back through those back doors. We have some VIPs in the audience tonight. My wife, Laura. My son, Vincent. And my daughter, Selena. I love you all very much. Grampy and Sandra are here. Grampy's like a second dad to me. Love you guys. And my brother, Brad, flew all the way in from California on the red eye. Got in the car, drove all the way to Penn State to get his son, my nephew, and drove all the way back here to be here tonight. So you win the award for most traveled miles. And my sister drove all the way from Berwyn, went to the wrong hotel, and came all the way back to here. I want to do a special thank you to LaxFest. I know you guys are all over here. And a special acknowledgement of Amy Orcott. Amy, I know your parents are here tonight. They should be very proud of you. You embrace this program of keeping Peter's memory alive, and that has really allowed us to help so many people on scholarships. Thank you very much. And someone out there is our medical community. It's such a big part of the Fighting Back journey. You'll see that through the videos tonight. I just want to acknowledge all of our partners, Bryn Mawr Rehab, ReMed, Council on Brain Injury, the Philadelphia VA Hospital, and Premier Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Thank you for all the work you guys do along the Fighting Back journey. So welcome to the 27th Annual Achievement Night. Tonight you will meet 3 individuals who have demonstrated the spirit of our program: courage, desire, and perseverance after a life-changing injury, illness, or disability. But before I introduce you to tonight's honorees, we would like to recognize the 16 individuals that were nominated for tonight's event. So many of the individuals that are part of that video are here tonight. So at this time, I'd like you to stand. And if you're unable to stand, please have the person next to you stand on your behalf. So tomorrow, someone's going to ask you, what did you do last night? And you're going to say, I went to the Fighting Back Scholarship Program's annual achievement night. And they're going to say, what's that? I've never heard of it. It's a community of support for people with life-changing injuries, illnesses, or disabilities. It's like the television show Cheers. Then if that someone is under the age of 30, they're going to say, what's Cheers? I've never heard of it. It was a TV show about a bar in Boston where everyone knows your name and accepts you for who you are. Now, the Fighting Back Scholarship Program is not a bar, but a small gym and gyms where everyone knows and accepts you regardless of your limitations. You don't drink beer, at least to my knowledge, but you work with a trainer to maximize your abilities, not your disability. It's about effort. It's a place to begin to believe that you're okay just the way you are. Now that someone under 30 is going to say, can I get that TV show Cheers on Netflix? And what is the organization raising money for anyway? Two things. First, this night. It's the Oscars of Fighting Back, a time to celebrate the long journey of fighting back for the honoree, their families, their caregivers, and their medical community. Secondly, to provide scholarships for one-on-one post-rehabilitative exercise to ease the financial burden that often accompanies a life-changing injury, illness, or disability. So in summary, community of support, Cheers, Oscars of Fighting Back, scholarships to ease some of the financial burden. Now it's time to announce this year's honorees. Barry Casey, Rob Donnelly, and Katie Rohrbacher. It is my pleasure to introduce you to our 77th Annual Achievement Night honoree, Barry Casey.
Barry had a stroke June 22nd, 2015. Luckily, I was with him out in the back patio. We were going to have dinner. He sat down and he just went like this. And I said, Barry, are you okay? He said, nothing. And he had a blank stare in his face. I immediately called 911. From there, he was airlifted to Jefferson Hospital, where he spent probably a little short of a week. Then he went to Bryn Mawr Rehab. He was in Bryn Mawr Rehab about 3 months. Went back to Bryn Mawr as an outpatient, and they suggested that he come here. Barry's been here at Fighting Back. We were very fortunate. We got hooked up with Debbie, who has been just wonderful. We could not have gone through this without Debbie. I call her his second wife or his PT wife. She's hard with Barry when she needs to be hard, but she's soft with Barry when he needs to be soft, and she's very encouraging. Debbie and I text back and forth. She's given him in-home exercises to do. I tell her when he doesn't do them because I'm a tattletale and I want the best things for him. She gets on him here, I get on him there. He's made tremendous progress. He's actually even driving a car now. When he comes here at Fighting Back twice a week, he is more himself than anything. He gets the encouragement from Debbie and everybody else here. Everybody encourages him. And I think the fact that he keeps moving and he can see results and he can push those machines and put weight, with weight. He can balance himself. He's just a totally different person when he comes here. I don't want to see whatever happens to him if he doesn't come back here.
When I started with Barry, the first thing I did was go to Sandy to ask Sandy what she could help me with so I could help Barry. So I didn't have to go any further. Sandy filled me in and we moved on from there. Sandy and Barry are a relationship that, you know, without Sandy, I don't think Barry would be doing as well as he's doing. I nominated Barry, but I also nominated Sandy because the two of them together, it's just been an unbelievable relationship.
As his primary caregiver, I naturally do a lot of things that he used to do. He's still trying to work part-time, and a lot of times I do his emails for him, and I sit with him while he makes conference calls so I can help him get the words out or formulate the words and the sentences in the correct way.
Being a caretaker myself, I never really understood the stress that a caretaker is under. Their life has changed drastically because now they're taking everyone to appointments, they're working a full-time job and making sure that everything at home is in order for them to be taken care of. So to all of the aides and spouses who are now taking care of a spouse or a father or a mother, thank you for teaching me how to be a better caretaker. All right, Ray? Go. Are you okay? I know. Just, you're getting there. See, you're at 75 already. Watch your right knee. Pull your right knee out. There you go. To make you feel good when you're finished.
Hopefully.
All
He's a
right.
star now. He's a celebrity. Got the Villanova championship shirt on.
So nervous.
Dude, you
I
worked,
can't
you earned
tell.
this. You earned
I
this.
know.
Enjoy.
Debbie has just been absolutely most beautiful thing that there is.
Oh, thank you.
She knows this business inside out, upside down, backwards. She just is a wonderful person. She sees all the work that I'm doing and she pushes me even further. So it's yours. It's yours.
No, you deserve it because without you, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. You're doing great. I'm Debbie. We're here this evening to honor Barry Casey, but also Sandy, because without Sandy, Barry wouldn't be doing as well as he's doing. But also they're a team. Recovering from a stroke, recovering from an illness and an accident, your life changes. There's a lot involved. Now, when two people got to do everything on their own, now it's one. I'm living that. And I can only say it's very hard. But Sandy taught me a lot of how to be patient, kind, do what you need to do to survive. So I'm sorry for this, but Sandy and Barry, you taught me a lot to help my husband. I can't thank you enough. So please.
Come on up. As Barry comes up, each recipient tonight receives a plaque with a quote from Anthony Robbins and a commemorative medallion.
name. Don't ask me to read it. I can't.
I won't.
Okay.
I know what your reaction would be.
This is all the PT wife stuff. Huh?
Yes, this is the PT wife stuff.
First, I'd like to thank everyone at Fighting Back for this award. Debbie is the one and has been my partner in a journey. Debbie, you wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here without you. You pushed me back when I needed to be pushed. You encouraged me when I encouraged, and you gave me the break when I needed it. Partnership is a real partnership that I can cherish. You are my friend for life.
Thank you.
Secondly, I thank to the Bryn Mawr Rehab Hospital. I wouldn't have made it this far if it weren't for you, all the help and all the encouragement during the early critical times. You spent hours constantly with me and making sure I was treated with care and respect. Many of you are here tonight. Some have moved away, but know that I appreciate everything you have done for me. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my family. They were there for me when I needed them most. Your love and understanding and encouragement is the light at the end of the tunnel. There is a lot more for me to do, but with so much appraisal, so much support, I think I will one day realize my goals. Thank you.
We're gonna take a picture, Ben. Take a picture. Step in on the other side. The whole family.
I get a kiss too. I guess in front of everyone.
Great job, Bear.
Okay. We can exit now.
Here, take it for me.
I got it. Ready?
Yeah.
Thank you.
At this time, Kevin Connor would like to share a personal reflection.
Thank you, Scott. Good evening, everybody. What a turnout. Who'd have thought just a few years ago when we were at the Desmond Hotel that we'd be here now packed with over 500 people. It's just an amazing effort. Thank you. As Scott mentioned, my name's Kevin Connor. I've been a member of the Fighting Back Scholarship Program team since 1998. Thanks to our long-time, loyal supporters and those of you that are newer to supporting our cause, our program and this night are a direct result of your support and generosity. So again, thank you. When you look around, it wouldn't happen without you. As Scott mentioned, tonight I'd like to share with you 3 thoughts about my experience with Fighting Back. First, I'd like to talk about how I was introduced to the Fighting Back Scholarship Program. Second, how I got involved with the program. and third, most recently, how it's hitting close to home. So let's start with how I was introduced. Mid-1990s, working in Paoli, I joined a gym, like a lot of guys do, and it was Paoli Health and Fitness, right on Route 30 where the current Paoli Pharmacy is. So if any of you know where the pharmacy is on Route 30, that used to be a gym. Like any other gym, a lot of people in there working out with one distinct difference. There was a lot of us able-bodied people working out right alongside the Fighting Back clients. There's a gentleman in the back at table 52 by the name of Dan Thornton. Danny, I can see you back there, buddy. Dan would come a couple times a week, driven by his father, Gene, which was a great combination, both of them there at the same time you're working out. Also back there at table 44 is Joe Johnson. Joe. Joe's better known as Superman, self-described, and he was always there with his mom. And I tell you, you're there at the gym working out and talking Philly sports, telling jokes, talking about life in general. But the main thing you took out of this was the inspiration. You go in there and you might be loafing it a little bit, not working as hard as you could, and sitting next to you is Dan Thornton on an erg, a rowing machine, working his tail off. And if you didn't step up your game, boy, oh boy, he'd let you know it. And then Superman always let you know it. So that's how I got introduced to the program, and it was just a wonderful dynamic, but most importantly, what I took away from it was the inspiration that it gave me personally. So let's talk about now how I got involved. It was late 1998, and I overheard Scott Dillman having a conversation about an 8th grade boy who went in for, quote, routine back surgery, and it didn't go well. Baseball player, loved the sport, it's all he wanted to do, now paralyzed from the waist down. As the conversation continued, what we realized was the scholarship dollars that Fighting Back had allotted for the year had already been committed, and there was not money for this young kid to go to Fighting Back. Scott and I got together with the family and put together a plan that J.P. Dunn could come to Fighting Back 2 days a week for the rest of the year until we had monies reallocated for the following year for scholarships. Shortly after that experience, Scott asked me to join the board. And it's been a long time since. That was when JP was in 8th grade. He went to Conestoga. His senior year at Conestoga, he organized a wheelchair basketball game as a fundraiser for Fighting Back. His freshman year at Ursinus College, he did the same thing. He organized a wheelchair basketball game as a fundraiser for Fighting Back. So here's JP giving back to Fighting Back. Now the best part of that was that in both years of the game, JP recruited his friends who were in wheelchairs to play against a team of young athletes that worked for me, who weren't used to being in a wheelchair. And I can't tell you the score both years in a row, but it ended with something to 0. And the guys that worked for me were completely humbled, but always willing to come back again. So that's how we got involved. Now, close to home. 2 years ago, we had our 25th annual Achievement Night. We honored a gentleman by the name of Mike O'Sullivan, Ozzy. Ozzy's not here tonight, but Ozzy suffered a stroke in 2013. Ozzy grew up in Wayne. He's a year younger than I am. We played sports together. He was public school kid. I was Catholic school kid. We've known each other. We were friends. And all of a sudden, through other people that are here, Doug Geyer in particular, got Ozzy and his buddies to rally. And, Team Ozzy got him a scholarship to go to Max Out in Royersford, which is an extension of Fighting Back. And Ozzy was honored in our 2017 annual Achievement Night. And that hits close to home. And even closer to home was, like Ozzy, my cousin Billy Delaney, sitting right here at table 12, also suffered a stroke in 2013. And like Ozzy, he's a year younger than I am. And in visiting him one day out at Bryn Mawr Rehab, going to lunch with his wife, Julie, we drove past the Fighting Back facility in Malvern, and I said, Julie, at some point, we're going to have this conversation. And it wasn't the time, And lo and behold, somebody at Bryn Mawr said to Julie and Billy, you might want to take a look at this place, and gave them a brochure about the Fighting Back Scholarship Program. And Julie said, I think that's the place that Kevin and Patty are involved with. So you're talking about close to home, now it's family. And what I'd like to just wrap up with is saying, so tonight, obviously, you've been introduced to Fighting Back, if you haven't been prior to tonight, and you're going to see more of it in the next few minutes. I offer you to please do, if possible, get involved. There's a lot of ways you can help. We're a small, community-based, grassroots organization that can put on a gala like this, which is amazing. And at some point, it might hit close to home, as it has for a lot of us in this room, because it definitely has with me. It is through the generous support from all of you that allow us at Fighting Back to expand our wonderful mission. Please continue to support us. Donations, sponsor a scholarship, and don't forget that we have a 50-50 going on tonight for the first time. Right now the pot's at $1,825. There's people around the room. If you want to raise your hand, they can come to your table and you can make a donation, cash only. But we do have people ready to do that as another way to try to raise money for our effort. And at the end of the time, my time, I just want to say again, thank you very much. Thanks. Scott.
Debbie talked about the importance of caregivers, and they are a pillar of the Fighting Back community of support. At this time, I would just like all the caregivers in this room, and I want you to do this, to stand up. Without you, there is no Fighting Back. Now, the other group that the caregivers would be first to recognize are the trainers. At this time, we would like to recognize this very special group of people. At this time, Matt would like to give you an update on last year's honoree, Erica Grebe. Matt and his team have done a great job creating the community of support and helping the Fighting Back Scholarship clients at his Max Out facility. Thank you, Matt, and your team for all that you do and all that you will do in the future.
Good evening. I've been blessed to be here now for my third year. I train Ozzy, who was the 2017 recipient, Erica, who was the 2018 recipient, and Rob, who was the 2019 recipient for the Max Out Fighting Back Program Award. Now think about this. What are the odds of a Fighting Back client actually competing in the Paralympics? Think about it. I had never given it thought, not once in my life, until I posted a video of Erica bench pressing 225 pounds 4 times on Instagram. And I hashtagged cerebral palsy. Apparently, the director of the USOC, US Olympic Committee, for track and field follows that hashtag. And I get a message on Instagram stating, "Is that for real?" Yeah. Erica bench presses actually 245 pounds, but without using her legs. So if anybody bench presses, imagine only using your upper body and bench pressing 245 pounds. She asked me if Erica could throw a shot put. Now, I don't think Erica had ever done anything athletically before, so I said, I don't know if she can throw anything. But I know she can bench press 245 pounds. So I asked Erica, I said, do you want to throw a shot put? She said, I don't know what that is, but sure. So we've been training for the last 3 months, trying to see if there's any reality to it. And thankfully, to Bill Orr, to Doug Geyer, to many people at the Fighting Back, there's a real possibility that Erica can actually be a Paralympian. Fighting Back actually coordinated with a woman who's a retired U.S. Army Airborne soldier and a former Paralympian who donated a throwing chair for Erica. Prior to that, I was strapping her into a plyo box. It wasn't safe, but she trusts me. The woman who donated that is Centra, they call her Cece. I can't pronounce her last name, Mazik, I'm gonna go with that, from South Carolina. And she was able to send that up to us, and now we have a chair to practice on. And Erica will be competing at a Paralympic event in Hillsdale, New Jersey at the end of the month for the first time ever, throwing the shot put as a U.S. Paralympian. And just so we understand what that means, Erica's never thrown a shot put. I've never coached anybody throwing a shot put. I don't know how this is going to go. But in practice, she throws it 15 and a half feet. To make Team USA, to go to Japan in 2020, she has to throw it 17 and a half feet. That's 2 feet. I can figure out how to get 2 feet out of somebody. But 3 years ago, Erica didn't know if she would ever walk on her own again. She didn't know if she had any hope to go on. She had nobody in her corner. And thankfully, the Fighting Back stepped up and provided funding for her to be able to come and train and to get stronger. And last year, she walked across the stage holding my hand and not her arm crutches for the first time since she was 10 years old. That's impressive. That's what hope provides. That's what people like you provide. It's not just a check, it's hope. It's that feeling that somebody cares and that there's a possibility, just a crack, a sliver of possibility, that a piece of their life can come back. It's very important that we continue to think about that. And I'm asking everybody here to think about how they can help Erica. As we continue on this journey, after May 24 through 26, I'll know better where we stand. And if she has a fighting chance to make Japan in 2020, that'd be awesome. I can promise you that she'll work. I can promise you that she's going to train. I can promise you that she's going to try hard. And I can promise you that if you donate and help her, if she gets a shot to represent our country, she's going to kick ass. So anybody who is willing to donate, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a spot on the website for people to do that. It's going to be called Erica's Going for the Gold. So I would appreciate any help that you can provide Erica. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce you to our 78th Annual Achievement Night honoree, Rob Donnelly.
Rob had a massive stroke. They said he may never walk again. He was in rehab for 2 months, learned how to walk, learned how to eat again. The feeding tube was removed. And from there, we were discharged after 2 months in rehab we went to my mother's house for 3 months. I still had to work every day, and he physically and mentally wasn't able to take care of himself. So we spent 3 months at my mother's house. He didn't realize how bad he was. I've taken pictures, since the day he had his stroke. He looked at himself in some of the pictures, and, it's hard to believe it was him.
My name is Matt Kubler, and I'm here with Robert Donnelly, and he's a Marine. And you can't say former Marine, because once a Marine, always a Marine. As a Marine, you did some pretty cool stuff back in the Gulf War, didn't you?
Yeah.
What was your responsibilities when you were a Marine back then?
I was a grunt. I got to put on camouflage and run through the woods with a gun.
And that's pretty much what Marines do, right?
Yeah.
How were you made aware of the Fighting Back Scholarship Program?
I think that was through my wife, who works at the VA, and Dr. Robinson was the one who, I believe, recommended me for the program. When I got recommended for this program, I thought, you know what, I'm done with physical therapy. My sessions have run out with my insurance for that year, and I got the opportunity for the Fighting Back program, and I just looked at that as this is not my last chance, but it's one of my last good chances to, as we said earlier, to get back to normal. But which I now know normal is not the normal that it used to be. It's a new normal.
You're able to now identify the small victories, and it's not necessarily back to normal pre-stroke, but that every day is somehow a step towards a better version of who you are today.
Right.
Anytime, I throw something new at him, doesn't know if he can do it, but he's willing to try. And then every time we do it, gets better at it and just keeps working hard. He's one of the hardest working clients I have.
Not only did my life change when this happened, her life changed too. She had she does a lot for me. If it wasn't for her, I would say I don't know where I'd be, but I kind of know where I would be, and it wouldn't be in a good place. So she's been wonderful.
He's always had a can-do attitude, even after he had the massive stroke and they said he may never walk again, he may never eat. I said to the doctor, he's a Marine, and the doctor looked at me like, what does that mean? He's had a great attitude with everything. Anytime anybody says, can you help me, can you do this? He gives it 100%. To see him, to get out of bed, to have that glimmer in his eyes again, to enjoy something he's good at, to be around other people. It's been wonderful.
I feel like I was just here. Once a Marine, always a Marine. I'm an Army guy, I'm not gonna lie. Rob and I love the dude. but we battle. And we battle on a good way. He likes to rub in the face that the Marines go in and clean up what the Army messes up. I let him know the Marines are in the Navy. And last year he surprised me before Erica's award-winning performance. He got his hair cut. If you saw some of the videos and everybody had long hair, he looked like Jesus. So now he's wearing a short Marine-worthy haircut, which is really cool to see. Rob Donnelly served as a Marine from 1988 to 1992 and is a veteran of the Persian Gulf War, and he is a stroke survivor. His wife Doreen works for the Veterans Administration Office in Philadelphia, and she heard about the great work Fighting Back was doing for veterans and reached out to Bill Orr, a Fighting Back board member. Bill, knowing that I'm a military guy, cop, I don't really take a lot of crap, he kind of knew that the best place for Rob to come was me and Max out. He started with us, and immediately I realized that I had a tough client on my hand that was going to give me a run for my money, and that we were going to push each other to be great. And I'm very proud of the clients that Fighting Back has sent to us. We have Ozzy, we have Harold Klein, we have Erica, we have Rob, we have Rick McKay. I'm very proud of the work we do and the partnership we have with the Fighting Back program. Rob's a hard charger. In the beginning, he didn't understand what rehab meant. He thought that if he lifted some weights, he did the exercises, all of a sudden everything would work back to the way it worked again. And it wasn't until one moment, and I'm off script, just so Bill knows, I was planning to go off script anyway, so there was one moment where I think it finally clicked for Rob. If you take for granted the ability to do certain things, and every morning when Rob would wake up, he'd have to wait for Doreen to get out of bed and pull the covers off him because he couldn't get the covers off. And one day he came in, he said, I was able to kick the covers off with my bad leg. That's powerful when you think about the simplest thing, like getting the hell out of bed and kicking your covers off. He was able to use his bad leg to kick his covers off. And for me, that was a life lesson for Rob. That it's the little victories. It's not winning the battle. It's not winning the war. It's the little victories in life when you're in recovery that allow you to continue on. Because if you set normal as your standard, you're going to quit. But if you look at the moments, the great little amazing moments, like walking in Disney with your wife for 3 days and your grandson, and being able to do that without falling over or passing out, those are little moments. Those are victories that we should all cherish. And for anybody who's going through something like Rob's going through, or supporting somebody in their family that's going through something like Rob's going through, I think those are the things that we need to reinforce, is those small moments and small victories that allow them to continue on, believing in the hope that there's going to be better tomorrows. Without further ado, hoorah, Devil Dog! Bring it up. Yo.
All right. So, I guess originally I'd like to start out with thank my family and friends, and especially my wife, Doreen, who really puts up with my crap every day. I don't know how she does it. But lucky for me, she does. Thanks. I'd also like to thank Scott and everybody else that involved with the Fighting Back program. It's done me a world of good, I can tell you that.
Hoorah!
Give that man another beer. So I'd also like to thank Dr. Robinson and everybody at the Philadelphia VA that have helped me. And I know the VA gets a bad rap if you watch the news, but they've been nothing but outstanding for me. I have no complaints about the VA whatsoever. I also like to thank Matt and Elijah, who I both work with at the gym. Matt's right, we do butt heads, but he pushes me, and that's what I need. It takes a lot of discipline to be able to sit at home and work out and push yourself on your own, which I do manage to do, but even now and again I need a kick in the butt. And Matt is the first to volunteer to do that, I'll tell you that. So, and I can't go without thanking my mother-in-law, Betty, over there. She faithfully drives me to Max Out every Tuesday, and she doesn't have to, but she does it anyway. And for that, I appreciate that, and I thank her. Except the only time she won't is if the weatherman says it's going to snow. She's like, I can't take you next week. I was like, oh, why not? She goes, they said on the news it's going to snow, and if they say it on the news, it's got to be true. But yeah, no, she again, it's another person that I've been able to count on, and I appreciate her very much. And I don't know what else I could say about her, but I could say a lot of things. But and so I guess with that, just enjoy the rest of your night, and thank you.
The Peter Kinsley Fighting Back Scholarship. Peter Kinsley fought and lost the battle to cancer, showing the courage, desire, and perseverance of this program. Peter's motto was, "The only easy day was yesterday." Amy, Randy, Rick, and their family has created scholarships in his name. Our third honoree is this year's Peter Kinsley Scholarship recipient, Katie Rohrbacher. They're here for you, because you're going to be honored at this year's annual achievement.
Congratulations.
Great job.
Should get back to work now?
Yep.
Keep working hard. Back to work.
I nominated Katie for a lot of reasons. She really epitomizes the whole idea of perseverance and courage. She's been through a lot. Sometimes I forget about how much she's been through because she has such a positive attitude, a great outlook on life. She once told me that everything is awesome sauce, and if you can't see that, you got to take another look. So she reminds me of that all the time, and that it reminds me to turn around and look at things in a positive way. She is an inspiration to everyone here in the gym, everyone, all different abilities. She inspires everybody she encounters. She has good words to say. She's always coaching people and making them laugh and making them smile.
When Katie was 15, Thanksgiving weekend, she was in a car accident on a Sunday evening around 9:30 at night. We got the phone call that she was being medevac to Lehigh Valley Hospital. We rushed up there. I have to say that whole evening was surreal. The first time we saw her was she was taken from the emergency room up to the ICU, and she had tubes coming out of her everywhere, and she was in a coma.
She was asleep during her 16th birthday. We were all there in the room at the hospital.
It happened on November 30th. She was discharged from there on New Year's Eve and transferred down to Bryn Mawr Rehab Hospital. She was there for 6 months. It took a long time for her to even start responding from her coming out of her coma. She's worked really hard. She couldn't hold her head up. She couldn't.
Oh, she's amazing. I think she's amazing.
She couldn't sit up. She had no balance. It's just amazing where she is today is where she started off. And that is because of all the support she has had. One of Katie's roommates, Erica Pratt, got involved with Fighting Back, and we just always had that in the back of our minds that it was such a good program. They spoke highly of it. We just knew that that was going to be in Katie's path, that we wanted to get Katie involved here. Katie is Erica Pratt's first roommate. They bonded so much. If you were going to have fun in a rehab, they had fun. I mean, it was serious why they were there, but they had fun. The aides and the nurses, they would play the music. They bonded so much, and we kept very close for the longest time after this.
So Katie has a superpower. What is it?
To make people smile.
It does, it works. Yep. They walk by, and anytime they walk by and she talks to them, they smile. So we've had a little social experiment. So when she walks into the gym and she walks by somebody, she always has a comment, a positive word to say, and inevitably anybody she encounters smiles, end up smiling and laughing. We definitely have a lot of fun. We get a lot of work done, but we have a lot of fun. We laugh, we dance, we sing. It's a good time. A common denominator with a lot of these people who are successful and happy, and they have a good support group, and she has a phenomenal family. I've gotten to know them. They are extremely involved in everything she does. Since I've been working with her, I know her mother brings her here every week, also takes her to many other activities. And we have started doing a lot of activities through another organization I am affiliated with. So she's been rock climbing, surfing, skiing, and her parents are always on board to bring her and to stay with her and coach her and encourage her. When we went down to the Life Rolls On surfing event, she had her sister, her brother-in-law, her nephew and niece, her parents, her aunt, many other family members and friends of the family, and they all came down and cheered her on. It's just usually a big party with her.
She deserves it. She's
a fighter.
She's been fighting this for 15 years, and she has always done it graciously. You know what I mean? She's always just been determined. Determination is.
She's always got a smile on her face.
You know.
Katie, you are the definition of perseverance. I love you, and I'm so happy that you are getting this award. You deserve it.
Congratulations, Katie. It's a huge accomplishment for you, and we know you're not done. So we patiently wait for your next breakthrough. We know even this far out, anything can happen. We love you, and congratulations. We love you, Katie.
We love you, Katie. I would have done it without you.
Oh, you're too sweet. There's a lot of people behind that, right?
Yeah.
Not just me, it's also that lady there. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You totally deserve it.
You deserve it.
Thank you.
Well, welcome to the Oscars of Fighting Back. There are actually quite a few similarities between tonight and the Oscars. It is a special night put aside to honor the incredible achievements of a few extraordinary people. The big difference between the Oscars and our program this evening is that the extraordinary performances are not roles these people play.
This is real life, 24/7. They're not playing superheroes, they are superheroes. With superpowers to rise above incredibly challenging life situations, to fight back and conquer those things that would break down the average person. They are an inspiration to us all, and tonight we salute you. As for Katie, as you heard, her superpower is to make people smile. A quote from Mother Teresa says, "We shall never know all the good things that a simple smile can do." Well, I know many things that Katie's smile has done for others. Katie comes into the gym every Tuesday morning with a smile on her face, ready to sweat, or as she says, sparkle. There's usually an entourage of people around her also smiling. As she walks through the gym, she gives words of encouragement to everyone she encounters, inspiring them and, of course, making them smile. Although our sessions are filled with hard work, we also have a lot of fun. Katie knows more dance moves and lyrics to 70s and 80s songs than any 31-year-old girl should. But that works for me. You know it, right? What strikes me the most about Katie is the impression she leaves on others around her. She makes people smile, she inspires them, and they remember that. For instance, I've been an adaptive ski instructor at Camelback Mountain for about 5 or 6 years. And the lift instructors barely know me. But after about 4 or 5 runs, they all knew Katie. They were high-fiving her, giving her the VIP treatment. Even other people in the lift line knew her name. Just has that impression on people. There have been many people who shared gym time with Katie who have come forward with many kind words of how they inspire her. And I have a list of them, but I'd like to read one special quote from Ken Daly, who's also in the audience tonight. Ken says, "All progress starts with a quest to understand and improve one's own self, represented by the man or woman in the mirror. With an infectious smile, a can-do attitude, and a devilish twinkle in her eye, Katie is holding the mirror for us all. Who can possibly watch Katie do her thing without questioning whether they are doing all they can do to watch over and improve oneself? For many of us, Katie makes us the arrow. There are many people, led by Katie's mother, who care for and love Katie. It's the assembled village that supports her that is also so inspirational. So today we honor and applaud Katie. Every day she and her support group help us separate the urgent from the important, allowing us time to reflect upon our own image in the mirror. Life is what goes on between our ears, the way we perceive our own journey. The way Katie and her village demonstrate reality helps us all to refine our focus on our perceptions, and for that we are deeply thankful. And finally, to quote Katie herself, "Everything is awesome sauce, and if you can't see that, you need to take another look."
All right, you ready, awesome sauce?
How do you do this every year?
Hello. My name is Catherine Noel Mary Warbacher, but you can call me Katie. I was on Earth to have been nominated for the Thursday Award. I would like to thank everyone who helped me to achieve it, because I wouldn't have received it without your help, especially Marty. And everyone at Fighting Back, my family. Yeah, I said that. And Bryn Mawr Rehab. Crazy, Graciosa. And Heike. Thank you for coming tonight and supporting me always. I have done while working out, so it makes everything worthwhile. Hopefully you won't forget my smile. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
At this time, Piper Kinsley would like to come up and present the award. Take a picture. Take a picture. Take a picture with Piper. Just right up the, just right over here. Right behind you. At this time, Awesome Sauce is going to draw the winner of the 50-50. You have more time on the stage. And I know you really don't like that. Yeah, you could. So how did Awesome Sauce do tonight? How did I know you would just be stealing the spotlight for longer than you're supposed to be? Did you hide the raffle somewhere?
Albert.
Albert who?
Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein.
There you go. Just in time, the bucket has arrived before the comedian career comes to a short-term close. All right. All right, you got to pick one out. Piper, get in here. Just one.
Just one.
Okay, let me have that, and I'll announce the winner. The winner is Heather Schmidt. You can go outside and get your winnings on the way you go. Congratulations. Great job, Katie. Thank you, Piper. Okay, now it's time to raise some money for scholarships. In the program is a description of the different levels. A full-year scholarship is $5,500 a year. A full 6-month is $2,750, and a partial 6-month scholarship is $1,375. Any donation will help. We currently have 80 people on scholarship. You can make a difference tonight. You have seen in a snap of a finger how a life-changing injury, illness, or diagnosis of a disability can occur, and life as we know it changes. There are people in the room with sashes on to take your credit card donations. There are donation envelopes in your programs, and there are people on the way out at tables to take your donations. We need to support this program because Barry, Rob, and Katie have reminded us of what really matters in life. The importance of our faith, the enduring love of family and friends, and the commitment to become stronger people. We need your support by making a donation tonight and allowing us to help more people on their journey of fighting back. As you can imagine, the need far outweighs the 80 scholarships we provide. Thank you so much for coming. Good night.